Citizens of Luna Love gather to celebrate the 70th year anniversary of our city's founding. Everyone in Luna Love has gathered together to hear about our city's technological advancements and city services.
Welcome everyone to our 70th annual Moon Day celebration. I remember the very first day that Luna Love became the lovely city it is today. We've brought together some of the brightest minds to bring us up to speed on our city services and technology, to keep everyone in Luna Love safe and happy. First, let's hear it from our lead scientist.
Hello, everyone. One of my favorite parts about Luna Love is the desolate, dust-filled wasteland that constantly puts our city under threat. That and the immense solar radiation that constantly surrounds the city nearly 90% of the year.
What I think the lead scientist meant to say was that the location was carefully chosen by the researchers who found it based on the abundance of sunlight, relatively stable temperature, and beautiful year-round view of Earth. Because of our elevation, radio communication between the moon and the Earth has never been easier.
Right. Luna Love is blessed with a resource-rich blend of regolith containing precious metals, oxygen, and helium-3 atoms. Our mechanical and electrical engineers have designed lunar rovers to collect the regolith in high amounts, which we can then use as the base of basaltic concrete mix or break apart into different metals and oxygen within it. These allow urban planners and civil engineers to build up our city out even more by making sure we have strong moon-resistant buildings and a breathable atmosphere to match.
Exactly. Living on the moon does have its own set of unique challenges, including moonquakes, meteorites, and a lack of plentiful fresh water. Speaking of which, why don't you tell us more about how our city manages its water resources?
Gladly. The same army of rovers that evacuate the lunar regolith also collect the ice crystals trapped within it. However, unlike the other resources found in regolith, the amount of water on the lunar surfaces is extremely limited. Because of this, our city uses strong water management and recycling systems, which use a combination of smart sensory technology and natural processes with plants to recycle for water for the whole day.
That's amazing. Water management is so important for sustainability, one of the founding principles of Luna Love. Now, what happens when disaster strikes? What happens in events of an emergency?
Well, it depends. The citizens of Luna Love are prepared to live underground for days if the surface dome is compromised or under serious threat. Civil engineers have also designed moonquake-resistant buildings to help limit the damage of the vibrations, and other meteor defense systems prevent any minor space debris from getting too close to the city. That said, if the moon were suddenly to explode or collide with another planet, the best we could do is evacuate everyone back to Earth with our lunar elevator before impact. But then we'd have to deal with the meteorites hitting Earth, shifting tides, possibly catastrophic changes to the Earth's weather.
Sounds like we're prepared for almost anything. Now let's turn our attention to our city planner who can tell us more about city services and lifestyles.
When Luna Love was first founded, it was very difficult to build a sustainable community due to its small population and lack of organization. Since then, we've greatly improved our ability to collect, refine, and use the resources available to us, allowing us to invest more in improving education, housing, food, and transportation.
You know, my great granddaughter is about to start school. What are the schools in Luna Love like?
It's one of the best school systems in the entire solar system. Each and every citizen of Luna Love is guaranteed the right to a complete education from kindergarten to college. Residents of Luna Love are also trained on how to deal with the challenges and disasters involved with living on the moon, like those dreaded moonquakes, how to manage with less gravity, and even how to maintain a healthy diet.
Sounds like she'll learn everything she needs to know to live a long, healthy life. Where are these schools and training centers located?
All of the educational buildings will be above ground in the main part of the city alongside the commercial and governmental buildings. Thankfully, the noisy industrial areas that process the regolith and water are all located on the outskirts of the city, and of course, all residents are protected underground in their own personalized housing units, which are portable and adaptable to allow for people's different needs and wants.
That sounds like a great setup. But how do resources and people get from one place to another? My family doesn't own a car. What's the best way for us to get around?
In Luna Love, we make sure that everyone has a way to travel from place to place that is affordable and accessible. We do this using a combination of maglev trains and hyperloop trains. We have our train system carrying up to 250,000 riders per day and connecting the housing units to the above ground buildings. We also use these trains to transport materials from processing sites to factory buildings. Riding the train is free and accessible to and available to all citizens, making our transportation system sustainable.
You know, I love my sustainability, which reminds me of my favorite part of the city, the food. Do you mind sharing with everyone how Luna Love has one of the most high-ended, sustainable food systems within Earth's orbit?
I'm happy to, Dr. Hartley. Our greenhouse covers nearly a third of the total area of the city, growing all the necessary fruits and vegetables for our citizens. To achieve this, we use a variety of sustainable farming practices like crop diversification, crop rotation, and composting in order to keep the soil healthy and reuse agricultural waste. Our greenhouse also produces oxygen, which is essential to maintaining our atmosphere and keeping our plants healthy. On top of all that, the greenhouse is basically a walkable garden, providing a huge area of green space under the warmth of the sun's rays for citizens to enjoy.
It's one of my favorite places to walk around in the city. Luna Love has managed to keep healthy food affordable, which means everyone can access fruits and vegetables of our labor. Let's give a round of applause to our city planner and lead scientist for updating us on technological advances that have made us successful over the past 70 years now. Now, let's continue with our annual Moon Day celebration by starting this year's street cleanup.